to the joint press conference between the Honourable Datuk Seri Hishammuddin Tun Hussein and His Excellency Wang Yi. I now have the honour to invite the Honourable Datuk Seri Hishammuddin Tun Hussein to deliver his statement.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your Excellency Wang Yi, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to welcome my good friend, His Excellency Wang Yi and his delegation to Malaysia. His Excellency Wang Yi is no stranger to Malaysia, and on a personal basis, him and I have known each other for a very long time. We are old friends, and was among the first foreign ministers whom I had the privilege to engage when on my first day in the office as foreign minister.
I got it, no problem. Please continue.
You want me to paste it so that there's a translation?
No.
You need to?
I got it.
You got it. I know.
I got it.
But this is what I've been instructed to slow down. No? Okay? Proceed, yeah? But if there are things that needs to update, you just let me know.
Fine.
You see how well we work? Since my first few days in Wisma Putra, we have had numerous engagements, both Minister Wang Yi and I. And these encounters were limited, though, through virtual discussions and phone calls only due to COVID-19, which has prevented, in a way, frank and honest face-to-face dialogue. In this regard, I am happy to be able to meet with His Excellency Wang Yi in person last night and today. Wang Yi's visit to Malaysia today is indeed very timely and, if I may say, crucial. It allows both countries to revisit our existing cooperation and keep a sound bilateral momentum. It also reflects the great importance both countries attach to one another and bodes well with our common desire to elevate our existing bilateral relations to even greater heights. On our bilateral meeting, we had a frank, constructive, and fruitful discussion on numerous issues, touching upon the various aspects of our bilateral cooperation and regional issues of mutual interest. Over the past few months, we have witnessed remarkable progress in Malaysia-China relations. We therefore reaffirmed our common aspirations to further strengthen our cooperation on the basis of mutual understanding and of mutual respect. As the Chinese saying goes, a true heart of friendship shows itself in the face of adversity. And on behalf of Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, the Government of People of Malaysia, I would also like to take this opportunity during this visit to personally thank my brother, His Excellency Wang Yi, and China for the generous contribution and kind assistance extended during the COVID-19 pandemic. These include sending a team of health experts to assist Malaysia during the peak of COVID-19 and receiving substantial contribution from the Chinese local governments, private sectors, and friendship associations. These assistance and contributions have greatly assisted Malaysia in the early stage in facing the greatest public health challenge to our generation. This also clearly reflects the true friendship and mutual understanding of at all levels between the two countries. For that, Your Excellency, I thank you. I'm also proud to announce that we have made several important decisions today. First, regarding post-COVID-19 cooperation, we look forward to an early conclusion of the negotiation on a bilateral memorandum of understanding on cooperation in post-COVID-19 era. This MOU provides the broad framework of pragmatic cooperation between the two countries in the post-COVID-19 era. And I hope to sign this MOU personally in my return visit to Beijing when the situation permits. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, we also agreed to establish a high-level committee on post-COVID-19 cooperation, which will be co-chaired by both Ministers of Foreign Affairs. The high-level committee will oversee the implementation of all understandings concluded within the framework of the MOU. Thirdly, on COVID-19 vaccine development, we welcome and appreciate China's commitment in providing Malaysia with the Chinese-produced COVID-19 vaccines once successfully developed, and also thank you for listing Malaysia as a priority recipient. We also welcome China's agreement to encourage Chinese enterprises to establish all-round cooperation with Malaysian partners in vaccine research and development and distribution. And we will ensure that all our agencies and the relevant ministries, related ministries, will continue from what we have decided during this visit. Fourthly, with regards to enhancing Malaysian palm oil trade with China, both sides agreed to promote sustainable requirements for palm oil products which adhere to Malaysian sustainable palm oil and the green food label. We appreciate China's agreement to encourage its enterprise to increase import of sustainable produced Malaysian palm oil and other products in accordance with the market rule. On that note, we sincerely appreciate China's commitment to purchase 1.7 million tons of palm oil until the year 2023. We also discussed the opportunities of engaging trilateral cooperation using Malaysian palm oil and palm oil-based products to address food security in third countries. On food security, both sides discussed how immensely fragile our food supply chains are, especially as the pandemic worsens, combined with the onset of climate crisis. Malaysia is taking the lead in this initiative with our partners, working alongside like-minded countries, pooling our resources to build capacity at key points of the global supply chain to safeguard food security strategically. I am proud to announce that China supports our vision and our agenda on this, and to transform vulnerability into collective resilience amongst our countries. Our discussion also touched on reciprocal green lane. We agreed to continue discussions to facilitate cross-border movement for business and official travels between the two countries, and we are also exploring the idea of travel bubbles on the tourism sector and other sectors that needs to be worked out now. Nothing is concrete yet, but no harm in starting to work on it right now. While the COVID-19 pandemic still sees no end, it is important for us to plan and discuss early. Therefore, we will jointly launch the RGL only once the situation permits for both countries to do so. I also agreed to His Excellency Wang Yi's suggestion for Malaysia and China to complement each other through the Belt and Road initiatives. Malaysia reaffirmed its unwavering support for the BRI based on the principles of mutual trust, mutual benefit, and also of shared prosperity. Apart from bilateral issues, His Excellency and I touched on several regional and international issues, namely the South China Sea, ASEAN, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC, and US-China relations. On the South China Sea, we both agreed on the importance of maintaining peace and stability in the region. Disputes should be addressed through peaceful means, including through regional dialogues and discussions amongst the parties concerned, without resorting to threats or the use of force. On ASEAN, we welcome closer coordination and cooperation between China and all ASEAN member states. We also look forward for the celebration of the 30th anniversary of ASEAN-China dialogue relations in 2021. For RCEP and APEC 2020, we look forward for the signing of RCEP and the launching of APEC post-2020 vision in conjunction with APEC Economic Leaders Week at the end of the year. On US-China relations, both sides exchanged views on the latest developments. Malaysia hopes that both parties will resolve to strengthen their mutual trust and continue to converge on dialogue as a way to manage the differences. In conclusion, Your Excellency, I would like to say that while our meetings today have been very successful, we surely have a lot to do moving forward. I am confident that both our officials will work diligently on what has been agreed upon today, so we can formalize the matters on my return visit to Beijing soon when the situation permits. I gladly accept your invitation, and again, thank you, and I really appreciate your visit to Kuala Lumpur. Thank you. 谢谢。
Thank you.
请王一国委员兼外长致辞。
I will speak Chinese. We have interpret. 各位记者朋友，大家好！很高兴应老朋友希罕穆丁外长的邀请到访马来西亚。这是疫情发生以来中国外长首次访问马来西亚。我听说也是马来西亚正式接待的第一位外长。这一事实充分体现了中马全面战略伙伴关系的高水平，也充分展示了中马双方相互信任、相互支持的良好传统。面对前所未有的挑战，中马两国团结协作，共克时艰，我们取得了合作抗疫的重大成果，也深化了兄弟邻邦的友好情谊。双方的贸易、投资逆势增长，各领域合作在持续的推进，两国关系展现出强大的韧性，而中马合作必将迎来更加广阔的前景。
Dear friends from the press, good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to visit Malaysia at the invitation of my old friend, Foreign Minister Hishammuddin. This is the first visit by the Chinese Foreign Minister to Malaysia since COVID-19 started. And I understand that this is also the first Foreign Minister that Malaysia has officially hosted since then. This speaks volume about the high-level comprehensive strategic partnership that our two countries have enjoyed. It also demonstrates the good tradition of mutual trust and mutual support. Facing the unprecedented challenge today, China and Malaysia have been working together with solidarity to tide over this trying time. Together, we have achieved great progress in responding to COVID-19 and in deepening the friendship between brothers and neighbors. The trade and investment between our two countries have bucked the trend and registered growth. Our cooperation across the board has been moving forward continuously. China-Malaysia bilateral relationship is showing strong resilience, and China-Malaysia cooperation is set to embrace even brighter prospects.
我和老朋友就如何应对当前的挑战和中马关系的长远发展，广泛深入的交换意见，达成了一系列的共识。刚才外长先生做了很好的概括，我完全赞同。我再做一些补充和强调。
The Minister and I have conducted in-depth and wide-ranging exchange of views on how to tackle the current challenges and grow China-Malaysia relations in the long term. And we have reached a series of important consensus. Just now, the Foreign Minister summed up the consensus that we have reached. I fully agree with what he said, and I want to highlight further the following points.
我们一致同意要加强战略协调，为加强后疫情合作，两国将成立由外长牵头的中马合作高级别的委员会，就此制定政府间的合作框架文件，统筹推进两国各领域的合作，要使我们的中马全面战略伙伴关系能够迈上新的台阶。
We both agree to strengthen strategic coordination, to enhance cooperation between the two countries in the post-COVID-19 time. The two countries will set up a high-level committee for cooperation led by the two foreign ministers and will formulate a framework document for intergovernmental cooperation so as to take forward our cooperation in various areas in a coordinated manner and to bring China-Malaysia comprehensive strategic partnership to an even higher level.
我们一致同意深化抗疫合作，中方愿继续与马方分享防控和诊疗的经验， 开展疫苗研发、生产和采购的合作，团结一致，彻底战胜疫情。
We both agreed to further deepen COVID-19 cooperation. China stands ready to continue to share experience and expertise with Malaysia in containment and therapeutics, and to collaborate on vaccine research and development, production and procurement, and work together with greater solidarity in order to defeat COVID-19.
我们一致同意探讨建立3个重要通道，包括人员往来的快捷通道、货物运输的绿色通道，还有粮食运输的安全生命通道，以保障产业链、供应链的稳定畅通，确保重要战略物资的安全。
We both agreed to explore the establishment of 3 important channels, including fast track for essential travels, green lane for the movement of goods, and lifeline for transportation of food supplies, in order to keep the industrial and supply chains open and smooth, and ensure the security of critical strategic supplies.
我们一致同意加快共建“一带一路”，双方将继续推进两国双园、东海岸铁路等重点项目的合作，继续释放发展动能，拉动两国经济快速的复苏和增长。中国愿意继续进口马来西亚优质的棕榈油，我们知道这对马来西亚，特别是马来西亚的民众是非常重要的。我要告诉大家，今年上半年中国进口马来西亚的棕榈油逆势增长了29%。我们愿意继续保持这么一个势头，也愿意那么同马方在棕榈油的深加工方面开展更多的合作。疫情终将过去，中国的游客也会重新来到马来西亚。
We both agreed to speed up the Belt and Road cooperation. The 2 sides will continue to advance the 2 industrial parks, the ECRL, and other key projects to continue to release dynamism for development and boost the economic recovery and growth of both countries at a faster pace. China stands ready to continue to import high-quality Malaysian palm oil. We understand how important it is to Malaysia, and in particular, how important it is to the Malaysian people. Well, in the first half of this year, China's import of Malaysian palm oil bucked the trend and increased by 29%, and we would like to maintain that good momentum. We are also ready to pursue closer cooperation with Malaysia on deep processing of palm oil. In our view, COVID-19 will eventually be defeated, and at that time, Chinese tourists will return to Malaysia.
我们一致同意构建开放型的世界经济。中国欢迎马方作为主宾国出席下个月的上海国际进口博览会，继续积极参与中国东盟博览会。我们也将支持马方办好 APEC 领导人会议，同马方共同推动年内签署 RCEP。
We both agreed to build an open world economy. China welcomes Malaysia to participate in next month's China International Import Expo held in Shanghai as the guest of honor country, and we welcome Malaysia to continue to take an active part in China ASEAN Expo. We will support Malaysia in hosting the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting, and we will work with Malaysia for the signing of the RCEP within the year.
我们一致同意推进中国东盟合作，以中国东盟自贸区建成10周年，明年中国东盟建立对华关系30周年等重要节点为契机，推动中国东盟合作提质升级，推动东亚合作聚焦抗疫和发展2大主题，促进地区的和平稳定和发展繁荣。
We both agreed to advance China-ASEAN cooperation. We are going to celebrate a number of important occasions. This year marks the 15th anniversary of the EAS and the 10th anniversary of the establishment of China-ASEAN Free Trade Area. And next year we will celebrate the 30th anniversary of China-ASEAN Dialogue relations. These are important occasions that we will take as an opportunity to further upgrade and elevate China-ASEAN cooperation, to keep the East Asia cooperation focused on two major themes, i.e. COVID-19 response and development, in order to contribute to peace, stability, prosperity, and development of this region.
我们一致同意维护南海的和平稳定。我们都认为南海不应成为大国博弈之海，不应成为炮舰横行之海。中国和东盟，我们完全有能力、有智慧，也有责任维护好南海的和平与安宁。我们双方应该排除外部因素的干扰，继续落实好 DOC， 同时争取早日达成有效并且有实质意义的 COC。
We both agree to maintain peace and stability in the South China Sea. We are both of the view that the South China Sea should not be a ground for major power wrestling, teeming with warships. China and ASEAN have full capacity and wisdom, as well as responsibility, to maintain peace and tranquility in the South China Sea. China and ASEAN should work together to remove external disruptions and continue to implement the DOC and endeavor for an early conclusion of effective and meaningful COC.
我们一致同意加强国际事务合作。中国马来西亚同为亚洲的发展中国家和新兴经济体代表，我们应该共同捍卫和践行多边主义，反对霸权主义和强权政治，推动亚洲的振兴和世界的发展。
We both agree to step up cooperation in international affairs. China and Malaysia are both developing countries in Asia and representatives of emerging economies. So we need to jointly uphold and practice multilateralism, oppose hegemony and power politics, and jointly promote rejuvenation of Asia and the development of the world.
疫情正在深刻地影响世界，和平发展的时代任务日趋紧迫，合作共赢的时代潮流滚滚向前。在人类团结进步的历史进程当中，作为两个负责任的国家，中国和马来西亚，我们一定能够做出应有的重要贡献，与世界各国一道开辟更加繁荣和美好的未来。谢谢。
While COVID-19 is having profound impacts in our world today, it is even more imperative to deliver on the call of the times, that is to pursue peace and development. And the trend toward win-win cooperation is gaining momentum. So in the historic process of human progress, as two responsible countries, China and Malaysia, we will make our due and important contributions and work with other countries in the world to open up a better future with greater prosperity. Thank you.
最后要说的是，再次邀请也欢迎我的老朋友施罕布丁外长早日到中国访问。
In conclusion, again, I would like to invite my old friend, the Minister, to visit China. I look forward to welcoming you in China.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk Seri, Excellency, for your statement. The floor is now open to question and answer session. The first question will be directed to the Foreign Ministers of Malaysia.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Hi.
My name
Hi.
is Boon from Bernama.
Hi, Boon.
Okay, now that both governments have agreed to prioritize Malaysia as a recipient for the vaccine, may I know if there has been any specific decision made, including which vaccine Malaysia going to receive and when?
Yes. As we know, China has announced that vaccines being developed in China may be ready for use by the general public as early as November. Malaysia is monitoring these developments closely, and your visit, sir, to Kuala Lumpur give us a new platform for us to make sure that we are not left behind in vaccine cooperation and coordination. The operational decision to obtain a specific vaccine will not be in the hands of the Foreign Office, and it has to be made in a matter of a high priority by not only the ministers that are involved, but ultimately by the cabinet itself. So as the foreign ministry, we must continue to negotiate and ensure Malaysia establishes diplomatic agreements with our counterparts, which I have done today, to make sure that when we make the decision based on the trials and when it is made public, Malaysia will not be left behind. So I am very, very happy and relieved actually, because if we want to find a way forward in dealing with COVID-19, there are only two ways to do it. One is to prevent by vaccination, and the other is to cure by medication. And our relationship with China on those two footing is still very, very strong. Thank you.
请新华社记者提问。
新华 News Agency。
王国伟，您刚才提到东亚合作要聚焦抗疫与发展，但我们也看到最近几年美国一直在推动所谓的印太战略，拉帮结派、制造矛盾，然后渲染紧张情绪，包括对中国也是大加批评。请问您如何看待这个印太战略对于东亚合作的影响？
Mr. State Councillor, you mentioned just now that East Asia cooperation needs to focus on COVID-19 response and development. However, as we have seen, in recent years, the United States has been pushing forward the so-called Indo-Pacific Strategy. It's been trying to bring countries on its side, and it's been trying to create differences and tensions. It's been ramping up its rhetoric against China. So, Mr. State Councillor, what is your view on the impact of this Indo-Pacific strategy on East Asia cooperation?
我先就刚才疫苗的提问再补充两句。
Let me first add something to the previous question about vaccine cooperation.
那么疫苗是战胜疫情的终极武器，所以各国都非常的重视。中国的疫苗研发进展是顺利的。目前全球大概8支进入3期临床试验的疫苗，中国就占了有4支。那么我们不赞同个别国家试图垄断疫苗、抢占市场。我们认为疫苗应该为全人类的健康来服务。所以中国国家主席习近平已经宣布，中国的疫苗研发成功之后，将会作为全球公共产品。特别是为发展中国家疫苗的可及性和可负担性做出我们的贡献。那么，马来西亚是中国的好朋友，我们有着传统的友谊。马来西亚的方面如果有疫苗这方面的需求，中国持开放的态度，我们愿意同马来西亚进行具体的协商，那么来开展我们在疫苗方面的合作。
Vaccine is the ultimate weapon that will help the world defeat COVID-19 at the end of the day. So all countries take the development of vaccine very seriously. For China, we are making good progress in our development of vaccines. Right now, around the world, there are 8 vaccines that are currently under phase 3 clinical trial, and 4 of them are developed by China. Having said that, we don't approve of the attempt by certain countries to monopolize the vaccine market and try to dominate or seize international market of vaccines. Because in our view, vaccines should be provided to serve the health of all human race. In this sense, President Xi Jinping has announced that once Chinese vaccines are developed, are available, it will be made an international public good for all countries. Especially China wants to contribute its share to improve the accessibility and affordability of vaccines for developing countries. Malaysia is a good friend of China. We enjoy traditional friendship. If there is any need of Malaysia for vaccine, we are open to that, and we stand ready to pursue detailed consultation and to carry out a collaboration on vaccine.
关于东亚合作和所谓的印太战略的提问，我想强调的是，东亚 是当今世界最具有活力的地区，也是未来最具有潜力的经济体。这个地区多年来之所以能够取得成功，就是因为我们都坚持团结协作的亚洲价值观，我们都坚持要顺应全球化的时代潮流，坚持走多边主义的正确道路，坚持以东盟为中心的区域合作的架构。面对百年变局和全球疫情，要维护东亚来之不易的和平稳定局面，促进东亚的持续发展与繁荣，我们仍然要坚持这些行之有效的价值理念和合作模式。
To your question about Indo-Pacific Strategy and East Asia cooperation, I want to say that East Asia is the most dynamic region in today's world. It is also the economy with the biggest potential going forward. The success that East Asia has achieved over the past years lies in the continued commitment to the Asian values of solidarity and coordination. It lies in the fact that we have followed the trend of the time toward globalization, and lies in the fact that we have been staying on the right path of pursuing multilateralism and of pursuing regional cooperation framework with ASEAN at the center. Faced with the once-in-a-century changes compounded by COVID-19, in order to maintain the hard-won peace and stability in East Asia, in order for East Asia to enjoy further development and prosperity, we must continue to stay committed to these values and cooperation formats that have proved effective over the years.
美国所提出的印太战略，事实上是以美日印澳四国机制为依托，企图构建所谓印太版的新北约。这一战略所鼓吹的是早已过时的冷战思维，推行的是集团对抗和地缘博弈，维护的是美国的主导地位和霸权体系。所以这一战略它违背了东亚合作当中的互利共赢精神，冲击以东盟为中心的区域合作架构，也将损害东亚和平发展的前景。这一战略本身就是一个巨大的安全隐患，如果要强行推进的话，不仅是历史的倒退，也将是危险的开端。我相信各方都会对此保持足够的清醒和警惕。
The United States has proposed the so-called Indo-Pacific Strategy. In essence, it aims to build a so-called Indo-Pacific NATO, underpinned by the quadrilateral mechanism involving the United States, Japan, India, and Australia. What it pursues is to trumpet the old-fashioned Cold War mentality and to stir up confrontation among different groups and blocs, and to stoke geopolitical competition. What it maintains is the dominance and hegemonic system of the United States. With that, this strategy contravenes the spirit of mutual benefit and win-win that has been pursued by East Asia cooperation. It impacts the regional cooperation architecture with ASEAN at the center, and it will eventually undermine the prospect of peace and development of East Asia. In this sense, this strategy itself is a big underlying security risk. If it is forced forward, it will wind back the clock of history. It will mark the beginning of a dangerous, slippery, more importantly. And I believe that all parties sees this clearly and will stay vigilant against it.
一个地区的前途命运应该由地区人民来做主。东亚国家有权利实现自身的发展稳定，也有权利奉行独立自主的外交政策。作为东亚的重要一员，作为东盟的好朋友、好伙伴，中国一直坚定地支持东盟的发展振兴，坚定地支持东盟在地区合作当中的中心地位，坚定地致力于东亚的和平与稳定。我们将继续践行亲诚惠容的周边外交理念，为东亚地区的持久和平与发展做出我们的积极的贡献。谢谢。
In our view, the future of a region should be determined by the people in that region. For East Asian countries, we have the right to achieve our own development and stability. We also have the right to pursue independent foreign policy. China is an important member of East Asia and also a good neighbor and good partner of ASEAN. China has all along supported ASEAN's development and growth. It has been firmly supporting ASEAN's centrality in regional cooperation, and it has firmly committed to peace and stability in East Asia. Going forward, China will continue to pursue a neighborhood diplomacy characterized by amity, sincerity, mutual benefit, and inclusiveness, and make our positive contribution to enduring peace and greater development of East Asia. Thank you.
That concludes today's joint press conference. We thank you for your participation and attendance. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.